Right guys, so in today's video we're going to be discussing core training. So when it comes to training the core, for me I believe it to be a fundamental part of my overall training program. I see it as a way of preventative measure to sort of keep myself healthy and moving well, and hopefully you've kind of gathered that from the videos that I've done in the past, is that my sort of main sort of focus with my training, I mean at least number one, there's a whole sort of series of things I want to get out of training, but number one is making sure that I'm moving well and I'm healthy, right? So one of the biggest causes of injury, one of the biggest causes of time off work in the UK is low back injuries. So when it comes to core training, it's understanding that we are trying to do this from preventative nature, okay? Making sure that we are always sort of giving ourselves an opportunity to practice and refine our ability to stabilize that midsection, and doing so under varying amounts of sort of load and fatigue, right? Because obviously you do work your trunk and your core musculature when you perform squats, deadlifts, sprints, etc. But then it's having another little window there just to kind of practice it in a different realm, okay? So I like sort of more stability-based training when it comes to the core. I think one of the problems that people have when they think about training the core is that they think of sit-ups and flexion-based movements. Whilst I'm not adverse to flexion, I don't think it should be our only avenue to training the trunk, because when you look at the role of the core and the role it plays in locomotion and human movement, its primary sort of function is to stabilize our midsection, to make sure that we can maintain both positions and postures under load and fatigue. The way I like to do things is I think that sort of core flexion training, so flexion training through the core, should make up around about 25% at the very most of our overall sort of core work, with the remainder of it being very stability focused. Again, training our body to learn how to stabilize, right? Learn where do I need to place load so that I'm not going to rotate through that trunk, I'm not going to rotate through the hip. And this comes just through practice, right? Again, as I've sort of said in a lot of my videos, is that we get good at what we practice, and really what training is about selecting the things that we define as being important enough to practice on a regular basis, and core training is definitely one of them. So for me, it's about having 75% core stability versus core flexion, making sure that we're training it extensively, so not worrying about sort of 8 to 10 rep range. This is now more for time, so I will do this for sort of minute series, 2-minute series, 3-minute series. Do this at the beginning of the workouts when you're fresh, do this at the end of your workouts when you're fatigued. All of this will change your ability to maintain that stability. And what we're trying to do here is to continually learn this skill in a different environment. And that's really what training is about, right? So when it comes to core training, it's no different. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an insight as to my viewpoints of how I like to train the core. It is vitally important that we have a strong midsection as a preventative nature for low back issues, and making sure that we can maintain good postures and positions so we can get the most out of our hips when we come to create sort of powerful and explosive movements. So if you have any questions on this, or you want me to make another video going deeper into an avenue of this, then please let me know in the comments section below. But until next time guys, have a great day.